What is B.E.P? B.E.P is an acronym that stands for Black Economic Empowerment Program. More so, B.E.P is much more than that. I like to try to explain my understanding of what B.E.P is with a poem. It's titled Poetic Moods of Black, discerning poetry of emotions in all of the original, the bottom rail, the very last of the merciful, the poor in spirit, they that mourn, the meek, the pure in heart, and the peacemakers who seem weak, they who hunger and thirst for righteousness, and are persecuted and reviled from east to west. For they shall see God, be filled, obtain mercy, inherit the earth with a kingdom that's heavenly. They who were killed for the color of their skin, rejoicing and being exceedingly glad for this win. Four winds' breath upon dry bones in a valley. Hope in the mystery Babylon, yes, her prophecy. A system being thus far the greatest of all, has reached its term and is as of now to fall. The rain that was superior and never to end is crumbling in God's hand for all of her sins. Now the cornerstone that the builders rejected has become the head of the corner, undetected. The very essence of our being, our one-way track, our true revelation to these poetic. Okay, let's get started. We're going to talk about systematic oppression. First of all, I want to give you the definition of oppression by Wikipedia, short version. Oppression is the prolonged, unjust treatment or control of people by others. In the past, the definition of oppression was limited to tyranny by a ruler, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, I want to go further and talk about systematic oppression in the way of economy. And that takes us to this word called regentrification. Regentrification is the restoration and upgrading of deteriorated urban property by middle-class or affluent people, often resulting in displacement of lower-income people. That's a big pill to swallow. And with that, I'd like to stop right there and read this for you. If you're scared, then you need to leave now. This is no place for cowards. Some people were told to shut up, and they did because they're scared. Some people sold out and got paid power and or position. Some people were, are, and it's just stupid. I had to read that. Now I guess we can go a little bit further into the explanation of B.E.P and what it means. I had to lay that foundation right there before I go any further. Okay, B.E.P is an umbrella non-profit corporation. Now I want you to just chew on that word umbrella for just a minute. It's a non-profit organization with a bank account. This bank account is going to contain money, and the money never leaves the bank account. It's going to just perpetually grow. The profit from all businesses will recycle into this umbrella account. At the same time, 12 board members will be added onto the bank account so that no money can leave without each and every board member signature, along with mine. The board shall be diversified, all faiths, non-faiths, whatever, as long as these people are black. Now the goal is to permanently implant our economic system by taking our hands out of the cruel, unjust pockets of America and simply putting them in our own pockets. Here in America, we make $1.3 trillion a year. And out of that $1.3 trillion, we give back to them 97%. Not 50%, not 75%, we give back 97%. Now the 3% that's left over, I have no idea what we're doing with it. Now, I'd like to reiterate the 12 board members. A lot of times in the past, we had problems with trust. We had people in the past that failed us. One in particular said he wanted, or he needed $5 million to open up a school, all boys school, all black boys school. He got the $5 million. Now he's worth $5 million and it's still no school. And he's still out talking and just promoting things and as if nothing happened. And we know he got the money. We've had marches that raises enough money that we could have put some type of plan together to do more than we have. We've rallied, had petitions, we've had celebrities create or build girls' schools in Africa. When we are hurting here in America as a people, I'm talking about collectively, because we have multiple black organizations that speak on our behalf, yet still we have nothing. We need help. Now B.E.E.P, which stands for Black Economic Empowerment Plan, came along because of all of this distrust. That's the reason we want to focus on the 12 board members. 12 board members utilizing the monies that's come in from the various resources that we're putting in for. Collectively, we can create a base bank account that can be the economic base of everything that we need to do. Pain, Joy, Pain Incorporated is a non-profit organization. We're in the process of obtaining our 501c status, whereas we can apply for grants. We have a GoFundMe account that if you wish you can go there, but we're not solely dependent on that. You can show your support by going to painjoypain.com and reviewing everything, the proposal, everything that we're trying to put together. And through this PowerPoint presentation, I'm trying to show exactly how transparent everything is going to be so that everyone can keep up with everything that's going on and it won't be no problem as far as distrust. Through this proposal, I'm going to try to show how we can put this together and delete the trust factor so we can win the public trust back and move forward. Now, some of you all might not be comfortable with the word umbrella corporation. So we're going to put it a little bit more technical and explain it into the way of interlocking directorate, which is the practice of members of a corporate board of directors serving on the boards of multiple corporations. A person that sits on multiple boards is known as a multiple director. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to formulate this so we can put together a proposal that will counteract or balance regentification. And regentification is what they're setting up all over the United States, all over America, and all of the big cities. They're putting all kind of money into the inner cities where blacks used to live, so that when they get all these businesses there, they're going to turn around and raise the rent, which they did in Manhattan and other places, and they're just going to squeeze us out. So we're going to be on the outside of everything, looking in with nothing, with our hands out. And until we can figure this out, until we put something together that can heal the pain of the past that so many others have claimed to want to establish for us, then we're just going to continue this cycle. We're going to continue to fall. We're going to continue to fail. And then some of us will make it through and have made it through. Yet instead of the same time, when they children come along and they got to pass the money down to them, that money end up somehow getting right back into the system away from our people. So any way you look at it, hopefully you understand the bigger picture of what I'm trying to put together here, and we can move forward. The collective means of coming together will establish multiple businesses, multiple unlimited businesses, God willing, through loans using the umbrella corporation, or if you will, the interlocking directorate, and we'll use the monies from that as collateral. Board members meet and vote to determine jobs for the community. Board members must be concerned parties of the community. The goal is to establish an economic system for the people. Through that, establishing grocery stores, manufacturing companies, educational systems, healthcare systems, and the list goes on. Okay, this right here is not for everyone. I'm gonna try to explain what I mean by that. This right here is my passion. It's my purpose, I believe, and I've sacrificed a lot. And it's for people of conscience. Like minds attract like minds. People who understand our condition and know how devastated it is based on our past, then they'll be drawn to this. They'll be drawn to this and be the ones that will help, will take over, and do what needs to be done to perpetuate this where it lasts and it's permanently implemented. Because just because you're black doesn't mean that you care for black people. I'm out in the streets every day selling my book, and it's being received well, but yet at the same time I see the hate, and I see everything that's going on as far as the drugs and what they did and what they're doing. So our people, they're not out there thinking, they don't care. I've been doing this on my own. By God's permission, I've been doing this on my own. I've been successful to make it to this point where I'm at now. Everything that I've done concerning the sales of my book, concerning the resources I've put into perpetuating this, because I really believe that this needs to be done. Probably more people think that we can't do this than there are that think that we can. But see, I don't know how many people heard of Black Wall Street, and I guess it was in a time that was worse than the time that we're in. I wasn't there back then, but yet and still at the same time, I can imagine how much more money we're making today as opposed to how much they made back then as far as the resources that we're making. But if you look at it, Black Wall Street, they had 600 businesses, 21 churches, 21 restaurants, 30 grocery stores, 21 movie theaters, 6 private airplanes. They had hospitals, banks, and they had their own school system. If they did all of that, what happened? I look at today and try to compare things and parallel them with the past, and just try to figure out what happened. In the case of Black Wall Street, that was, if I'm not mistaken, concerned a white woman, well, Caucasian, and something about a black person, black guy stepped on her foot, and forget forgive me if I'm wrong, but that's what caused the government to blow the whole system up. Just blow them up. But if they put that together, if they did that, then why can't we do that? Why can't we do that, and why can't we be smarter? Instead of putting, the 600 businesses and 21 churches and 21 restaurants and all that stuff in a contained location where it's in position to get blown up again, why can't we come together, all our organizations and people contributing? Why can't we come together and put that base economic system together and create businesses all over the United States? I mean, heck, all over the world. Why can't we do that? Why can't we implement this plan and put in place the proper tools to make it where it's impenetrable and can't be infiltrated by people that mean to try to do it harm or unravel it? It have to be done in a way where there's no single person that's controlling the finance, the economy. That has to be in position, and that's why the idea of 12 board members, really 13, but 12 board members, 1 director. The director just had the vote, the odd vote, to keep things from being stagnant, to keep things from being like Congress or the Senate, and make things in a way whereas it will continually move forward, because these individuals will be the ones that study our people, study the situations and circumstances of the neighborhoods and everything like that, and decide what to invest in. I mean, just imagine we have our own grocery store that's in our neighborhood, that we can turn around and take that money and recycle it back in our account and other businesses, but for the most part the grocery store in particular, because that way, by being in our neighborhoods, we won't have to go into the Caucasian neighborhood to do that, to grocery shop there. We can squeeze out the little mom and pop stores that's in our neighborhoods and get rid of them. We won't have to go to the Arabs and to the Chinese and the Jews and all of that and purchase things from them, where they take our money out of our neighborhoods. Because that's all they're doing is, if you're rich, you don't have to use your money to purchase anything. If you want a business, you go to the bank that hold our $1.3 trillion, that hold our money. You borrow our money from the banks. You build your businesses in our neighborhoods, and then we turn around and we go to your businesses and we support and we spend our money, our $1.3 trillion, in your businesses that you build in our neighborhoods. And with those businesses that you build in our neighborhoods, the profit from that, you're paying back the loans. You're paying back the money, our money that you borrowed. You never use your money. You use our money to enrich yourselves because we haven't figured it out yet. So I'm trying to put this thing together in a way where we can figure it out. And the only way we can figure it out, it has to be complete business transparency. We're righteous by nature. We've just been taken outside of our character, outside of our nature, and we're made into these drug addicts, lying, stealing type of people. So we don't trust each other. And it's sad because so many of our people, leaders in the past, supposedly put things together, and in turn it's like we don't trust too many of anybody. Anyway, let me show you how complete business transparency is supposed to work. Okay. The Business Dictionary defines transparency as a lack of hidden agendas or conditions, accompanied by the availability of full information required for collaboration, cooperation, and collective decision-making, and an essential condition for a free and open exchange whereby the rules and reasons behind regulatory measures are fair and clear to all participants. Number one being integrity. Integrity really is the best policy. Number two, forget need to know and think everyone should know. Now, and this is concerning our people. This is concerning our people so that we can get rid of this trust factor or distrust factor. We can come together and we can get that up out our heads so we ain't got to worry about that. So it's like the public is scrutinizing and keeping an eye and knowing what's going on, where the money going, because that's the way it has to happen. If the public is going to support this and we get donations from different organizations and corporations and stuff like that to implement this plan, if they're going to do that, then we have to be in position to show them that this is a success. Number three, finances will always be completely accessible for view in order never to mislead the public. Number four, total control will be with the board and never in the hands of one single individual. Trust must come, number five, non-essential by way of the structure along with the complete transparency of the business. Number six, entire business plans, transactions, decisions, etc. will be open and available for public scrutiny. And it has to be done like this to keep the public involved. Number seven, open meetings expressing the business agendas, goals, its ways, and its means must be a standard procedure. Number eight, businesses will be bonded to satisfactorily fulfill contracted work for the clients. Number nine, our aim is to become the standard bearer for religious entities and other institutions in how finances are supposed to benefit the poor and the oppressed. Number 10, our goal is to establish stores, shops, schools, housing, community centers, everything that we need, everything that we utilize as a people. Our goal is to establish that through our economic system, our economic base, creating jobs for us so that we can have something to leave our children. We have a foundation, whereas they listen to us. They would want to hear us. Right now, not so much, because we don't have anything. We don't have anything, so it's like we're trying to talk to them and lead them in a certain direction, but we don't have anything. Now, I stress that document mainly because my objective here is to try to build public trust, and that's the focus that I want to take us to concerning B.E.E.P. B.E.E.P belongs to the Black democratic public, period. The board will eventually be established and maintained democratically. The account must always be completely transparent for public view. And see, B.E.E.P stands aside from others because of what B.E.P stands for: integrity. What black should stand for. And Pain, Joy, Pain Incorporated is really trying to jump out in front because, you know, looking at the 400 years, the 400 plus years that we've been oppressed, and seeing how we've been going to the government or these same people, Pharaoh, begging, HB 21, marching, petitioning, for what? In return, oppression. That's it. Do we continue to wait, or do we help ourselves? Get our hand out of the government's pocket and put it in our own pockets. We made everyone rich except for ourselves. $1.3 trillion, and 97% of that we give back to them. You know, sometime I go around and I ask people, do you think that any religious leader should become rich? I mean, millionaires, multimillionaires, 80, 90, $100 million off donations that come in from the congregation, whereas it puts the congregation in a position where so much more money is needed or wanted to buy airplanes, you know, raise money to buy airplanes, gold, cars. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but millions and millions of dollars needed, and I think in one case $1 billion needed for an airplane. But do you think that religious leaders should get those things or that amount of money, and at the same time our people is hurting, but they're getting the money from the people in the form of donations, whether one person coming in and give them $1, another person coming in and give them $1,000, it's coming from the congregation. Now, don't get me wrong, because I believe that, you know, religious leaders should be taken care of. We can buy them a house, we can buy them a car, we can give them a salary, and if they get rich based on the salary and they invest it wisely, then yeah, I mean, I also agree. Yeah, I also agree with that. But now look, you got some religious leaders that got money in other ways, and that money belongs to the congregation, and the congregation should put themselves in position to manage that money the right way. Say $100 million, you can take $100 million and put it into an account, single account, base account, and leave that money there. You can take $100,000 and establish this business, $100,000 establish that business, $100,000 put this grocery store here, $100,000 laundromat. Everything in the community that the community needs, you can establish those type of businesses in this community with the money from the congregation that a board members, a board is over, and can't no money move without all of the signatures, and no one person is over that money, and you're establishing jobs for the community, for the congregation. And at one point, the church shouldn't have to, or excuse me, the religious organization shouldn't have to depend on the donations. Now, we still get the donations, we're supposed to. That's part of what we're supposed to do. But yet, at the same time, the organization shouldn't have to depend on the donations, because they should be supplying jobs, that these jobs are creating an income that's producing a profit that the profit recycles into the base account, where the base account swells so that it can be in position to create other jobs, more jobs. We have to think bigger than we've been thinking. And I'm new to this. This is something that I'm very much new to. Everything that I've done, that you've seen me do, as far as my websites, my videos, everything, business cards, flyers, everything, I've learned. I'm self-taught by God's permission, but I've been so focused that I stay in front of a computer on a program until I figure it out. Because certain things I wanted to do that at certain times I couldn't afford to do, so I had to learn how to do it myself so that I could market myself and promote my own business, just to make whatever I have to try to produce this so that I can do with my part for my people. Now I really need y'all to stay with me, because I'm trying to do something here. I'm trying to build and show where I'm really trying to take this, because I need help. Can't do it on my own. There's certain organizations that's already out there in position to make this go smoother and faster. And if they can only, see how individually we can't do it, but collectively we can really change things. We can really change things. If we can come together collectively, all our leaders, and form one unified force. I'm talking about the NAACP, the National Urban League, the NSBE, Black Lives Matter, Rainbow Push Coalition, the fraternities, sororities, churches, mosques. If you understand, you get the picture of what I'm talking about. Then we can pool our resources, and I'm not saying take all of everything that you have and put it into one foundation. I'm saying, whatever, it doesn't matter. We can meet. We can come together and talk about how we can do this. And each organization, have a seat at the board, so to speak. This has to be tweaked out. There's still some trust in hoping and praying that you all still have our better interests at heart. We have too many things going for us, and the proof is how we built this country. The proof is how we continue to move forward no matter how much they keep their foot on our neck. The proof is in the $1.3 trillion behind the reasons that they keep targeting our communities to put all these different things in. But it's sad that one of the things that they keep putting in is the drugs. And you look at how much money is just going over there and wasting in that direction. Whereas if we can implement this thing seriously and put it together, then we can work on a solution collectively, our own solution, to try to help our people out of condition that they're in. Because it's sad. It's sad going around. That picture that's up there that you're looking at right now. It's really sad that we don't understand the significance of what's there. We have to come together. We have to do this thing in a way where it's going to be beneficial and very successful for our children. Yeah. That picture that you're looking at, that's the Trayvon Martins, the Walter Scotts, Emmett Tills. That picture's symbolic of the Baptist Church, the 16th Street Baptist Church. Charleston Church Massacre. You know, all those are the ones who died. Unintended, but not a mistake. They were lynched. They were killed. Wasn't no accident. And every time I see those pictures, you know, it perpetuates my thought process into trying to formulate something that's going to do its part in justifying something. I don't know. It's no way in the world that can be justified, but you know, some kind of way or something that I can do to offset the pain. And it's really sad to say that those children, those people that died, that's America's pride. America proud of that. And I don't know which part of America you part of, but I want to show you what part of America I'm part of. Read this poem for y'all. It's called America's Pride. It goes like this. Tunnel visions kill. The black lives, they don't matter. In the back, head, heart, reload, a bomb, and slaughter. My hands up, don't shoot, pow, 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 anyway. America's doom will be racism, injustice, and inequality. Willie Lynch got a gun and some house niggas too. KKK in black skin who sold out their own race. Blood on their hands for making sure of a tight noose. Prime example, Ben Carson, the Trump's spade of ace. The biggest lie of all was the one born before me. After they killed all the Indians except maybe 3. Put guns and drugs in the neighborhoods to start their demonic plan. Set things up completely against the unarmed black man. Black Wall Street, Rosewood, examples of hate. Emmett Till, Trayvon Martin, Walter Scott. Hold up, wait. 16th Street Baptist Church, the Charleston Church Massacre. Babylon's mystery shows us all the pride of America. Her biggest honor are the ones behind the badge. But when the tides turn, it's like extra catastrophic. Much more than those who continue to be lynched. Yet it's different compared to her motto. How ironic. But an ex-slave got the answer and know that they looked. What's crazy is that he turned it around in his book. If they could, they'd hide it and or sell it with a hook. This is what they do. They are the taker, the damn crook. Don't even matter, see? It's me against the world. I fear none but God. My message for boys and girls. You read this, bear witness, and still don't support it. Only in these United Snakes are black people divided. The rest of the world is mad, a product of her fruit. But here, Abraham's seed still don't have a damn clue. They're killing each other. It's all part of a plan. Guns, diseases, ignorance, black man versus black man. Wickedly wise, sardonic, skillfully to divide and conquer, What's worse is gang banging stupid mother hidden colors 1, 2, and 3. Violence trending worldwide. They can't even tell that they are also America's pride. My name is Raheem Muhammad. My product is the book that you're looking at right now. Oh, say can you see? Exclamation point, question mark. Secrets. I've been to Urban Grind in Atlanta. Nice place. I plan on going to the Apache Cafe, Empire Lounge. I've done book promos at Atlanta Masjid, Valley Slime, Tassili's Raw, Reality Cafe. Sold copies of my book there. See, so many people of ours have lied, and organizations are divided, and we have nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. The advancement of our people in America and the world is in our hands, really. We're at the forefront because we're in the best position. And at the same time, if you really dig and look into those scriptures, you'll see that we those people. But who really want to help? Who out there want to help us become that unified force, that one unified force? I'm a self-employed veteran, and then it's like, let me ask the question, why is it that so many have claimed to initiate a black economic empowerment plan only to enrich themselves? I mean, somebody help me figure that out. We're at a crossroads, people, and you may or may not know me, but I'm out here. I'm out here grinding. Support black business. Support black lives. Help us overcome, truly overcome. Help us put this thing together. I mean, I tried to break it down the best way that I could. I tried to go step by step through this process, and you're not going to hear the last of me. I'm new to this. I know this is like a grade school presentation. But believe me, everything I do, I try to do better and better and better. I try to perfect it. And at the same time, especially if it's something that I know I'm supposed to do and that I'm passionate about, it's not going to be the last. I would appreciate it if you all would keep your eye on me. Just keep watching me try to develop and try to promote this and put it together, because I know it's supposed to happen. I feel in my heart it's supposed to happen, and so many people are scratching the surface. So many of our organizations sort of got it. They sort of got it, but at the same time, they don't have it. And if somebody like me come along, with it, it's crazy, because it seemed like that envy, hate, jealousy, that Willie Lynch on a massive scale, even in organizations, are hating. Peace be upon you all. Thanks for listening.